This is for my future wife. That things about me she should know. So just in case she is listening, hi, my name is Kibet, but most people call me Mufasa. I spend my days uprooting words from the flows of my soul. My mind has those. Some thoughts have locked themselves at the back. But you should know, I cut my nails after every 1 week. Yeah. The first name that hits me when I see a dog is Snoopy. And blue is not my favorite color. But I don't mind if you come out of the blues. See, I know you're beautiful because that's how I'll notice you. I know you have a smile that stretches like a hand. That's why people around you always feel touched. I don't know if the first time you say hi, my earlobes will lock rhythm with my eardrums and make music that will last from ear to ear, but I know what will attract me to you will be how strong and happy you are under the wings of a king of kings. So my mind will find vision in your words when you say, God bless you. I know I will love you because that's the reason I will be with you, right? But I know I will love you more because of your relationship with God. When I'm away and I fall, you will send prayers that will pick me up. The soles of my feet will always touch the ground because your knees touch the ground for us. So I hope you won't mind that I took the time to know you first, that I found the words to describe you before I could find a way to say, I miss you. And hey, the day I walk you down the aisle, forget about numbers. African as I am, there won't be a number 3 or 2. You won't even need to be number 1 when you will be the only one. But I'm not naive. I know as years go by, we will introduce each other to new imperfections. So of course we will fight. Of course I will see you smile and I will see you mad. Of course I will have you hold me and I will have you push me, and I'm here training, praying. My anger will always find a reason to fall on my elbow. My elbow will fall, so I will never know how to raise my hands on you. And the rest of my body will never have to know how it feels like to regret hitting you. Even though right now I am sure my feet cannot stand that. And if you have a past, I have a past too. I just have faith that my romance will grow masseuse hands and find a way to massage the tense in your past. I say try, because some memories have found a way to lock themselves inside our stomachs, and no matter how much we star our stomachs, they will not come out, and maybe they shouldn't. Maybe the throat doesn't need to be reminded of the pain that passed through when you swallowed them. Maybe you just need to know that I will be there, that I will know when to shut up, pull a chair, sit next to you, and just love you. And maybe you need to know that I'll know how to protect you, not by having a gun. If I wear the full armor of God, my breastplate of righteousness will protect your heart. So when you fight for us and God gets us through crack of dawn, crack of lips, and we win and still be together at 50, write me a poem, write me a letter and put butterfly stamps on it. You won't need to do too much. I just need to know that even at 50, you still give me butterflies. Yeah.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Where does that come from? Was there a particular lady you had in mind when you wrote this?
I basically just watching other people's relationships.
Okay.
My parents, my relatives, my friends, my uncles.
So there's no dame somewhere with that poem that you've written for
No,
her?
it's more about wish, like imagining how I would wish it to be like.
Okay, so you've never shared it like directly with a lady?
No. No, it's actually weird to share it with a lady.
But you must confuse girls.
No.
Lines like this. Nini. We're going to take a break though, and we'll be back with Mufasa the poet in just a bit, and he'll be sharing even more of his poetry with us. Let me know what you think, and if you have any questions for him as well, 22999 is the SMS line. Maybe you want to know his process, let me know, and we'll be putting those questions to him. We'll be back after this.
When my sister was 7 months with child. I was 7 months without knowing. Even when I hugged her, I couldn't tell she was no longer alone in her own body. When my mother called to tell me the news that my sister was about to deliver, I wanted to tell her to be a funny mom. She needed to work on her delivery. My family could not believe my blindness. I couldn't believe my family. My brother said my sister never treated her pregnancy as prison. So the day she gave birth, it was not the end of a sentence. It was the beginning of all the words we could find to describe the most beautiful baby. My sister gave birth to the most beautiful baby. We all called him our child, but we knew he was God's child. God prepared my sister the same way God prepared David. I mean, before David faced a giant, he was prepared to face his fear. You know, come a lion, come a bear, go David with his bare hands. My sister was ready for her baby. We all watched her become a mother dragon, and no one was spared. Even the neighborhood kids had to be careful of my nephew's son to a mother who spit fire. I think we've never loved anyone like we love my sister's baby. My sister's baby came with a ladder for all the walls we thought our love couldn't go over. For all the times my sister has held her baby, I have seen her baby hold it together. Maybe it's why I'll never understand love, how it makes us strong and weak and raw and whole at the same time. Maybe it's why we struggle to understand God. My sister said all the strength and love she got from God. So when my sister's baby started walking, my sister walked him to church. You see, my sister is not my baby sister anymore. She's just the last born who finds ways to come fast so many times. What I'm trying to say is, if numbers mean something, I know I can count on my sister. Every time my nephew says, "Macho no my mama," I know it's what he's been taught to say, but for real, what it means is my sister is crying. I wonder if in the same way God made us call it rain, when actually it is him crying. I've seen people love from the heart before, but my sister loves her baby with her whole life, and if God calls us his children, then I'm afraid we do not understand that love. These days, my sister digs herself out of her own grave. That's the kind of wrestler she is. The under cannot take her. And I've seen the sun be more than just light to my sister's son. On hot days, my nephew has melted into a crown which my sister wears. My sister wears her baby as a crown. So all men who put a target on her can identify a queen, a ruler, a kingdom, a monarch. I think we can learn a thing or two here. One, babies in their first school uniform will make their mothers cry. 2, babies with their beautiful feet will make their mothers run away from men with ugly steps. 3, women with babies want the best for their children. No mother goes through C-section hoping to raise a D student. 4, women with babies are bulletproof vests for their children every time the man in front of them is shaped like a gun. 5, women with babies have learned to share themselves. Men who are full of themselves will have to empty themselves. 6, every time it feels like the end, I have seen God begin things. The story of creation did not end with Genesis. God is still creating new things.
Wow.
Thank you.
Hey, Mufasa. Sijui, nasikia at times I'm hearing my producer Oko screaming downstairs. Story, can you calm yourself? But oh my goodness. I'm going to get to the feedback because you're just getting me in trouble now. It's just wanawake tu. Wanawake tu ndio wamejaa huku. I'm going to be reading these in just a moment. But have you ever had a moment where, because you bring your poems out with such intensity and a lot of emotion, and I can tell that you're very conscious about making sure that it is an emotional piece and that you're speaking from something that has true emotion for you. I don't know if that makes it easier to not forget the lines then, or are there moments where you have forgotten lines? Because I imagine there's a lot of young poets who, because of nerves or because they were just so focused on making sure it rhymes and has this like slick line and whatnot, it's easier to forget maybe your
Yeah.
lines. But have you ever had any such experience?
Oh yes, I have. Yes, I have. But the thing about when you depends the kind of poem. Like basically, if it's just a lyrical poem, like
Yeah.
just words, you want to show off words and stuff, then it's easier for you to forget because it's just lines. But if it's a poem that is well thought out, has a thought process, like you know where you're going.
Yeah.
Yeah, like so it's that one is it's better.
I
Yeah.
think a lot of us are like, wow, if you're saying all this, about your sister's baby, this is
Yeah,
your
yeah.
nephew.
Yeah. yeah.
What happens when your babies come? Like those poems are gonna be.
I might not have words.
You might not have words at long last, eh? Well, let me read some of the feedback because oh my goodness. And I'm sure you get this a lot though. After you've gone and performed somewhere, do you just get flocked by babes?
You must send me kitty. Fifth Amendment.
Okay. Well, it's literally only females. I don't have any.
What?
Maybe I have a Kibet. Okay, yeah, I think I have a Kibet. Kibet, I'm assuming, is a gentleman.
Yeah, it is.
No, they say oh Kibet. Are you also called Kibet?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so it's not a gentleman. It's Chemtai. That's a lady. Chemtai says ati oh Kibet. Huyu ni nani anakuita Kibet? Tuko hapa tumeweka hapo Mufasa the poet. Wanakujua aje ati anakuita Kibet? Haya sawa. I'm Chemtai and I'm blown away. All right. I love Mufasa's poetry a lot, especially My Butterfly. I learnt from him when I was in campus.
Ooh.
I love the poem Freedom too. That's Joyce watching from Eldoret. You've made it in life. People remember your poem from campus.
What?
That's really amazing. Do you teach people how to write poetry?
Yeah, I do.
You do also?
Yeah, we have workshops as well, yeah.
Okay. Someone here says, wow, wow, in capital letters.
Wow.
Wow, wow, wow. I like you already, Mufasa. Yours sincerely.
Oh,
Great.
warm regards.
Another says, wow, I love his art. Mufasa, you're so talented. And with this, you are an icon in this venture. That's Lassie Faith from Juja. I'm Emma from Eldoret. Wow, Mufasa is lit. I tapped that poem, Maze. This is the one for my future wife. People are here claiming the promises of God. Hallelujah. We are reaching through the screens. Ulikuwa hapo my future wife mtu anakushika tu so. Anyway, someone else says this guy is blessed. Keep up na kona smile poa.
Wasifanye nisilale.
Hey Joyce, please ask Mufasa if he's married because I was listening to him when he said a poem to his future wife. Trouble, oh.
Hey. Future.
Future wife.
Future.
So it's still in the future.
Yeah, future. Future.
But unajua hatutaki kuanza kuvuruga. Kaa kuna ka potential mahali tusinge. Kuna ka potential.
Atakuja tu.
Atakuja
in time,
tu.
yeah.
Okay, all right. Let me get to some more SMSs. Maze nyinyi watu si wapoa. This whole 1 hour hamkukuwa mmeongea kitu. Mufasa ameingia hapa amesmile sasa ati ndio mnatuma my SMSs guys. Sawa tu, sawa. Mufasa is simply amazing. He's making the show lit. That's Gloria from Dagoretti Corner. Hey Joyce, the poet is amazing. I love the way he's composed and his lines, the words, and lines the words into order. They say Mufasa be blessed. Hey Joyce, today's show is on top. That piece he has done today is awesome. Ule Dem again, Hatiake will be very lucky. I'm his biggest fan. I love his pieces. That's Miss Maina from Satellite. Hey Joyce, I'm Grace from Kisii and I'm actually a big fan of Mufasa. Your poetry is mind-blowing. Faith from Nakuru says, to Mufasa, big up. Poetry has never been better. Keep up with the good work. Okay. And hey Mufasa, that poem was moi. I wish it were dedicated to me. I like the movement of your brows.
Okay. Okay.
It really went well with what you were saying. I envy your future wife.
I'll perform before mirror now. I'll go perform and watch my eyebrows.
So I'm trying to rewind in my head and see what are you doing with your brows.
No, yeah, I don't know. What? Okay.
Can you just look at the ladies and just thank them for their love?
Thank you so much. Sana. For more works, Mufasa poet everywhere.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
How do people find you and just follow along with your work? Do you have an album out? Is it
actually? I have a book.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
It's called Raising a Son.
A sun like S-U-N.
like S-U-N, yes.
What is this about? Because even your graphics, I mean your cover
Yeah,
art
it's
is
like
very interesting.
Thank you.
This
yeah.
is you.
Yeah.
Tunakuona na ma 6
Ni 8 by the way. Ni 8.
Sawa, tunakuona na 8 pack here. But what is this you're pulling down?
So like it's like I'm raising a sun, like I'm actually pulling it up. Yeah.
This is the sun, right?
Yeah,
And it's
literally
really
now. I'm doing
lifting
it literally.
What is this title about?
So the idea was, we normally say there's light at the end of the tunnel.
Right.
But now, it's a poetry anthology, and in the book, I'm basically saying that there are times when we need to create light or find light while we are still in the tunnel.
Right.
So it's about raising a sun when
Okay.
you're still in darkness.
Wow. And there's several poems in here.
Yes.
Pages upon pages of them. So how can
Yes.
people get this?
So email me. You can email for your order, mufasapoet@gmail.com. Or as well, you can just inbox me on social media anywhere: Instagram, Facebook, Mufasa Poet, Twitter, Mufasa Poet.
How much does it go for?
It is 1,200.
1,200.
Yeah, so it's delivery.
All right.
Yeah.
And I love what you have here on the back. Of course, this is a book. You say it's a poetry collection by Mufasa Poet. Raising a Son takes the reader on a journey through a young man's life. Mufasa shares life stories on family, heartbreak, violence, community, and hope while serving the hard truth. Change won't come when our leaders change. Change will come when we change.
Yes.
That's powerful.
Thank you.
Maybe as your final comments, you can just tell us that, of course, we had our newspaper review today, and a lot of many of us rather, are really frustrated with the state of things as they are. And we can hear from your poetry, of course, you do address a lot of social issues.
Yes.
So maybe that could be your final comment. When you're talking about change is not coming, it's not about the leaders. So you're saying it's not about BBI, it's not about which principal or which leader, it's actually about us.
Yeah, because I feel like these people, I actually say there's no special village or town where leaders come from. Like these leaders are a reflection of who we are. Yeah, so basically the change won't come when they change. We can put up, another person can come in, but it's going to be the same until we change how things have been working so far.
So what is it that we're changing?
For me, I would prefer, no, this is a personal opinion.
Okay.
In terms of political opinion.
Okay.
I feel like every time we vote in parties and not people or not individuals, then we lose out on the reason why we're voting. We're actually voting on somebody else's behalf, but not on our behalf. You're voting because you've been told by someone else, but not your own. I feel like if MCAs and members of parliament, who are actually the representatives of where you are, of your region, of your constituency, of where you reside, should be a priority, even before the president and everybody else. Like, these are people who represent you directly, and who will end up, in fact, representing you in parliament as well. So if we were to vote these people, basically not caring about which party they're in or whatever, but basically because we are sure these are people who can deliver, then definitely panda ikienda juu until kwa system. We basically change the system. Not just people.
So it is us. It is us to do
it.
Mufasa, thank you so much for coming on to the show.
Thank you
it's
for
been
having
great
me.
talking to you and just hearing your poetry once again. And remember, you can get his book by emailing him.
MufasaPoet@gmail.
MufasaPoet@gmail.com. You can also follow him on social media, Mufasa Poet.
Yes.
Right. And thank you once again for your
Thank
company.
you.
Wanadada, I hope you're okay. Mengine mtamtafuta huko kwa DM. But with that said, we're going to take a short break rather as we get ready for our final segment for the day. We're going to be touching on financial wellness and just how to get your money in order. That's coming up next on Full Circle with Joyce. Stay tuned.